Hey, how's it going? DeAndre Jones here. Today we're going over the back tuck, and I'm really pumped about this because we've basically been leading up to it for the past 2 weeks, both learning the back handspring and getting more comfortable learning continuous back handsprings. But as we transition to this, I'm going to try to be as resourceful and helpful as possible, but this is going to take some courage on your part. You really have to push that boundary, that mental block of going over your head in order to achieve the back tuck. But I'm very confident that after watching this, you'll be able to go out and at least give it a try. So usually after learning the back handspring and going into the back tuck, it's easy to think I'll just jump higher this time and just try to make it around as best as possible. But it usually doesn't work out that way. And when you're learning the back tuck after learning the back handspring, there's not much transitional, progressional movements from the back handspring to the back tuck. Now let me explain. During the back handspring, you swing your arms. During the back tuck, you swing your arms. During the back handspring, you look backwards. During the back tuck, you don't look backwards. You actually lean back and kind of just let your body go up in the air. You basically want to do a back tuck, jump, do the flip, and land in relatively the same spot as opposed to a back handspring where you're trying to actually travel. So there is actually a difference in certain techniques that you won't take from the back handspring to the back tuck. So yeah, the only real purpose of learning the back handspring is just essentially to get over the fear of doing the rotation over your head. And it also gives you a little bit of leeway. If you mess up on the back tuck, you can extend, let your arms out so you can catch yourself and go into the back handspring. But besides that and a few other techniques, the back tuck and the back handspring are pretty different. But I'm very confident, especially once you get over the fear of doing back handsprings, that you'll be able to go for a back tuck relatively easy and be able to practice it and drill it till you get it perfectly. But from there, let's dive right in and let's get to this tutorial. So first I just want to start off by showing you what a back tuck is, and I'll give you an example. Okay, so key differences between the back handspring and the back tuck. The back handspring, you want to travel and you actually want to look backwards when you take off. So that means when you swing your arms, you're going to be looking backwards as you travel. With the back tuck, you don't want to do that. What you want to do is what some gymnasts call just spotting and just setting. And what you do is when you swing your arms up and you're ready to jump, you want to spot something in front of you that's like not necessarily eye level, but like maybe like a little bit higher. And you just want to look at that, and what that's going to allow you to do is to jump straight up and lean back. And really that's the only difference between the back handspring and the back tuck. With the back handspring, you want to be traveling and looking backwards. With the back tuck, you want to be traveling upwards and leaning back and waiting for that rotation. Okay, from that point, what's going to initiate the actual flip is tucking. And basically, when you tuck, you're going to grab your knees. Some people grab their knees with their hands over their shin. Some people grab from behind their knee. It really just depends what you're more comfortable with. They're both the same, so you can experiment with one versus the other once you get the back tuck down. But basically, when you jump and you're leaning back, you're going to want your knees to meet with your chest. You don't want your chest to meet with your knees because you're already leaning back. So you're going to jump, lean back, spot something, and you want, as soon as you get as much height as possible, you want your knees to meet up with your chest. And then from there, you're going to grab it with your hands, and it's going to initiate a rotation. Okay, so I'm going to give you another example, but I want you to look at how my knees meet up with my chest and how tightly I grab my knees to make the rotation. And also you'll see whenever I jump and I start to lean back, I'm not rotating at all until the tucking motion actually happens. So. I also have one more example. I usually tuck over my hands over my shins, but I'm going to give you one more example with my hands behind my knees just so you can see it visually and you'll know what I'm talking about. But here we go. Alright, so one last overview. You swing your arms in the air, spot something in front of you, lean back. Once you get to that point, you're going to start to go straight up in the air. And once you feel that you've gotten as much height as possible, you want your knees to meet with your chest, and you're going to grab your knees. That's going to initiate the rotation. After that, all it is spotting and just figuring out when to open up to actually land. Okay, so that will conclude the back tuck tutorial. Next week, we're going over the wall flip, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share, or I'll find you. And I'll see you at the next video. Peace.